Hello guys, what is going on? I'm Ozone. Welcome back to another video. Sorry for the weird lighting, it's just gotten really dark outside. Very quickly. It's actually getting to the point after the winter solstice now in the UK, so I'm not quite used to it getting so dark so quickly. It's like, well, it's nearly 10 p.m. So, still pretty, it's still sort of light out as well. Like if I just take off the light that I've got here, it's not super dark, like you can still see the light coming in. By the light, I mean I've got Google open, and that's it. So yeah, anyway, today is a day late, and I'm sorry about this because it seems every single comic I decided to review a day later was surprisingly good. Because Justice League issue 2 was like, nah. And I was thinking like after this one I'm gonna drop it, Justice League. I'm gonna drop it if it's not good. Surprisingly good. Justice League issue 3. I think that is entirely down to though. I've only ever read one trade of the Green Lantern one. That was Rebirth. And I was thinking about picking up a couple more trades because I thought it was interesting, but I was like, meh. But this is like really sold me on it. I love Green Lantern. I love just the lanterns in general. I just really like the idea of the emotional spectrum and the fact that it has different powers and like what it means and stuff like that. And the fact that it's sort of like the basis and the center of this story right now, well, it's sort of like, it's really weird because we got the totality, but then we've got this, what's it called, like Umrax or something like that. Sorry, let me have a quick look. It's on the last page. I already forgotten his name. It wasn't on the last page. I think it was on the page before that. Umbrax. Sorry, Umbrax. Is this sort of like sentient star type thing, sentient life form anyway, which has sort of this access, what sort of is or has access to this invisible spectrum. So that's really interesting. But like I said, it doesn't really. It's very weird. I guess say it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. But what is weird is that there's these like two separate stories, not stories, but sort of plot devices going on right now. Unless they're sort of connected, which I assume they have to be, or maybe they don't. That's why the team split, and maybe that's why the Umbrats can get a foothold in the situation because of how the team split right now. Because they've got their strongest people, whether it be like Batman with his brain or whatever, but also like Superman. They got and they've got John as well. Dealing with the totality, which is pretty insane, but in which Lex Luthor and the Joker are already there as well, so they've got their problems pretty hefty. But also Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, the Flash are trying to fight off both the Green Lantern and also your boy, the Ultraviolet Lantern, I guess he's called now, Sinestro. So it's all a bit mental, honestly. So I don't really know what's going on with these two separate stories. Like I said, they might be close together or whatever. I mean, it can't sit together. I'm not too sure. But right, I like how they're focusing on one character per issue. That's something I was kind of not liking about issue 2 because it wasn't really a complete main focus. I mean, you could argue for and against which character you're focusing on. Maybe you could say that issue 2 is focusing on Lex Luthor, which, I guess, but it's not one of the members of the Justice League, and I feel like that's its strong point because the characters themselves are very, very good, and it's a very good advertising platform, honestly. Like issue 1, I was like, if they come out with a Martian Manhunter comic during this soft reboot period going on with DC right now, then I would definitely read it 100% because Martian Manhunter, judging by that first issue and also this third issue slightly, he seems like a really, really interesting character with some cool dynamics. So that might be a thing I'll look into. But not just that. Also, in this third issue, like I said, I really, really want to look into them trades for Rebirth and also continuing onwards when it sort of switches from Rebirth to this sort of like just the classic DC Universe sort of numbering system again. I think that's what this whole entire reboot thing is. I think it's just like a reset of the numbering system just to get people on board. That's entirely what reboots are now. People get annoyed that the universes in both Marvel and DC are rebooting all the time. Like Marvel Legacy lasted what, 5 months, less than that. It lasted about 4 months. Marvel Legacy, which is I think like a record because even Rebirth lasted more than 2, getting close to 3 years, I'm pretty sure. Which is pretty good by any stretch, but it's just a numbering system. That's all it is. That's all it has been for a while now. It's rare that there's actual proper reboots. I mean, for Rebirth, there kind of was because of Flashpoint. Like with DC, basically, if there's not a Flashpoint, then you can struggle to call it an actual reboot. From my experience, anyway. Which is limited to say the least. But if you have any opinions on this comic or the numbering systems, how did we get into numbering systems? When I talk about this, because I treat Justice League at this moment in time because the story is kind of meh, but like I said, I like the characters, so I'm treating it sort of like an advertisement platform, honestly, to get me hyped about these characters. And when the numbering system reboots, like I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man. Sorry, I'm going to be reviewing Spider-Man. I think that's on the list. But I'm also definitely going to be reviewing Superman. I'm not particularly looking forward to it, honestly. I'm just going to pick up the first issue, and if it doesn't draw me in, and I don't think I'm even going to give it a second or third issue, to be honest, I'm probably just going to treat it like Catwoman and just see what happens. But I'm not too excited about Superman because Justice League, any book I've ever read with him in it has just been not an interesting character at all. I think I read like six issues of Rebirth with him, and I just didn't really enjoy his story at all. So I'm just going to review it and then just leave it, I'm pretty sure, unless, like I said, it's really good. I don't see how that will be, though, because I'm not going to really give it any time for the character to grow on me or anything like that. But yeah, so right now, Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter is what I'm going to be looking out for when they do a new numbering system, because they will obviously, with a new numbering system, give us a good jumping on point, and sort of give us some leeway with explanations and stuff like that. But yeah, that has been Justice League issue 3, and yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all good stuff. That is the last review for today, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.